Hey everyone, it's time for another collection video as I have promised, and I'm going to be continuing the DVD and Blu-ray collection. Don't worry, I'll get back to the VHS soon. But today I would like to show you guys all of my superhero related films and DVDs. Well, films, DVD, Blu-ray, box set, whatever I have, I'm showing it. Now there's one film in here that I am not showing because I honestly don't want to put it next to my other superhero films. It's in the comedy section instead. More of an obscure one. So there is that one I'm not showing. Also, this is going to be a multiple part thing. So I think the first part will be showing my non-MCU Marvel stuff and my non-DC or Marvel stuff. And then part 2 will be like all the MCU. And then part 3 will probably be the DC stuff. So I got a lot. Got a couple box sets, got a couple collector's editions. Gonna go through it all. And let's get started with the M. Night Shyamalan Unbreakable trilogy, starting with the Vista series release of Unbreakable from the director of The Sixth Sense, and he's done a bunch more films at this current point. There's quite a few cool bonus features on here. Fully restored additional scenes never seen in theaters, introduced by M. Night Shyamalan. Behind the scenes, the train station sequence, comic books and superheroes featurette with Samuel L. Jackson, an excerpt, 5.1 digital surround sound, an excerpt from an early film of M. Night Shyamalan, and 2 collectible Alex Ross illustrations, along with widescreen and all that stuff. And here is the actual set itself. I love this artwork. I think it is very cool. I love the different glass kind of thing. And you see right here, you got the disc, 2-disc, collector's edition. I haven't actually watched the whole Unbreakable trilogy. I do need to at some point. I'd like to. I actually didn't like the first one, but I kind of want to see how it all connects. So, I do have all 3 of them, and I will be showing you those shortly. So here is Split, the second film in the trilogy, with James McAvoy from the X-Men films. Alright, so this is a Universal release, alternate ending and deleted scenes. Got the disc, of course, and that's it for Split. And finally, you got Glass. Now, I didn't get this at Half Price Books. There's no way I would have paid that much. I found it at, like, a... it's called Veronica's Thrift Store in Gridley. They don't have the best organization practices, but they did have a lot of DVDs for really cheap prices. And so, I did pick this up. You can see right here, I have the disc. It's in really nice shape. And even if it wasn't, for only $1, it's like, whatever. If it's broken, it's broken. Next, we got a superhero film that was actually quite panned when it came out. This is based on a more obscure comic book. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with Sean Connery. I've heard things on this film's production. I've watched a video or 2. But I honestly don't care. I don't care if the comics were good or bad, because, with me, I don't read comic books. I just watch the movies. I mean, I might watch little things on the comic books, and maybe look at the stories in 1 or 2 of them, like the Dark Phoenix saga, but I'm not an avid comic reader. I'd never choose to read a comic book, really. Well, like I said, I'd like to read the Dark Phoenix story, but honestly, I prefer it more in a novel than in a actual comic. But that is League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Here we have a Josh Trank directed film. This is Chronicle from 2015. Now I know people do want a sequel to this, or at least there was a point where they could make one, or people, wanted them to. I don't know where you continue it. I think this is a really well done, self-contained story. I mean, I didn't like it, but, like, it works. It's kind of a simple, really downer story that I don't think gives itself a ton of room to be a whole franchise. But that's just me. Anyways, now let's get into the non-MCU Marvel stuff. And I have a ton. I may not have every single Marvel film ever made, but for quite a few of these, I have multiple editions, until we get to the MCU. But let's begin with the original X-Men trilogy. Starting with X-Men from 2000. This is the nice slip sleeve edition. There is one that came out, a reprinted version that comes in a clamshell, or not a clamshell, well, I guess a traditional clamshell DVD case. I like the X on the disc. You got the nice blue tint to everything. What is this right here? I think this is just like a little chapter list. Yeah. Very basic release, but it is different. You know, it's not what you'd usually get with a DVD, so I do appreciate that. That is one thing I miss about the early releases of DVDs and Blu-rays. Yes, there were more quality issues, like disc rot and stuff like that, but there was a lot more care put into them. Like with this X-Men 1.5 set, the fact this extended cut is only on DVD is honestly really sad. I don't know why they would do that. Like, I get they're not finished deleted scenes, but come on, let the fans, you know, be able to watch them. But this is 2-disc. I picked this up at a Goodwill. It's a very nice set. I'd like to get one in better condition, but whatever. And then you have X-Men United, so X2. I don't love this film like a ton of people do. I didn't grow up with these movies. I've really had kind of a weird relationship with them. They're just general superhero movies for me. I don't appreciate the darker tone, but they are a bit more mature than Marvel. I'll give them that. And I'm very curious to see what Marvel Studios will actually do now that they have the X-Men. But now you got X-Men, The Last Stand, the third in the trilogy. I honestly like quite a few things from this film. I like that they were going to attempt to do the Dark Phoenix saga. I think it's an interesting story that's been done wrong both times. I think it's interesting. I don't hate this movie. I don't love this movie. There are great sequences, great visual effects. I just think it's passable, and I think it honestly is a pretty big disappointment to the fans of the original trilogy, because it went with 2 storylines and messed up both of them. The honest truth, okay, I'm going to say this and then I'll move on. There have been fan edits done to remove Jean Grey and the Dark Phoenix story from the film and just have it be about the Cure plotline. And the fact that people have actually done that is a sign as to how unnecessary it is. I'm just going to say that. I haven't watched any of those edits, but now I might actually track one down. Anyways. Now that I've got the Blu-rays of the films. Here we have X-Men, The Last Stand. This is a metal case DVD. This was a really cool find. I know it's kind of broken. You know, the set isn't exactly glued together. But you do get a nice little card. You get a comic book, and you get another copy of the film in the widescreen aspect ratio. Ow, and I got my finger stuck in there. Anyways, no, this is in pretty good condition. You know, it's cool. I didn't pay that much for it. I'm very happy I got it. Alright, next we got X-Men Revealed. This is a documentary on the third X-Men film, kind of. The comic books surrounding it, really. I haven't watched this all the way through. It's 30 minutes. I could probably watch it in one afternoon. Whatever. It's cool. It's actually very hard to find. I haven't really seen it a lot of places. Though the clamshell is in terrible condition, so I will have to put it in a new one. Here we got the original X-Men trilogy on Blu-ray. I ordered this last year because I really wanted a Blu-ray copy of the films with all the bonus material and everything, and so I just paid full price and got, you know, the best set possible. I know there's 4K, but look, I'm not going that far. Anyways, X-Men has 3 discs, X2 has 3 discs, X3 has 3 discs. I actually don't like these covers that much. My favorite X-Men The Last Stand cover is the one with Jean and the bridge in the background. Yeah, I've seen that a couple places, But I'm not going to re-buy movies just to get a better cover when it's going to be a worse format or a worse version to own. Like, I don't even think it has any of the deleted scenes reprinted onto it. I think it's just a different cover. They just gave it, like, a blank master, basically, and gave it a different cover. Maybe in the future I'll grab a DVD box set with that artwork, because, you know, why not? But, yeah, not for me. I also don't know what this big white sleeve with the little black clip thing on it is, but it came with the set. Alright, now we got the original X-Men films, and I need to speed this up. This is taking forever. Sorry, not originals, prequels. X-Men First Class. The first half of this film, everything at the beginning I really don't like. I don't know why they're basically in, like, a, very skimpy area, hunting for X-Men. You didn't need to do that, but apart from that, it's a great movie. I have to say the same thing. X-Men Days of Future Past is also a great movie. And this includes both cuts. This has the theatrical version and the row cut. Row cut on disc 1, theatrical on disc 2. And I really like that. They're letting people choose what version they want. They're not shying away from one over the other. And I really like it. Now just do that for streaming, because I'm actually pretty sure you can't even stream the row cut. Here's a Blu-ray set I bought of X-Men Days of Future Past. I only paid like $3. It's cool. You got another comic book with it. Or what is this? Yeah, Uncanny X-Men comic. This is actually pretty cool. Flip through pages. I don't know what's in here. But it is cool to have. And then you got the Blu-ray disc. Not going to show all that. Though I will say that once again, I do think it's a little cool thing to have. I'd never pay that much for it. Like I said, I only paid $3 at half-price books, but it's a cool display piece. X-Men Apocalypse. Yeah, this one's rough. And my player agreed because it completely scratched up the dang thing. This is a rough one to get through, honestly. I did not like one of the scenes with Apocalypse, and I think the way they connected this film to the others is absolutely atrocious. But on a lighter note, we have X-Men Dark Phoenix, which I actually really like. I really do. I have a soft spot for this one. I know it's terrible, but the production of it is so fascinating. The concept art, the leaked clips, the footage that was never released, all of it could make for a very interesting documentary. There, in fact, is a channel that did document, like, a lot of the assets that kind of leaked out. I'll link it in the description. I think it's called, like, X-Men Dark Phoenix Uncut or something. I don't know. Half-price books receipt. Don't mind that. I literally just have that in there because I never took it out. I also have the film on 4K, but the disc was banged up, so I had to get a new one. And I like the Blu-ray anyways. Alright. X-Men Origins Wolverine. I haven't seen this film all the way through. I've not heard good things. But it exists. You know, that's what I have to say for some of these. They exist. Whatever. Never much of a Wolverine fan. Though, I did like this one. This is a pretty fun movie. Making the Wolverine be this, like, samurai kind of fighting guy, the lightning battle, not lightning battle, but, like, the big rainstorm with him fighting the kung fu, you know, martial arts style is really cool. I like this. It did not need an R-rated cut. It did not. But I do have the R-rated cut. I've never watched it. I purely own it just because it's a different version of the film, and it has more bonus disc. It's actually a pretty insane set, too. You got, like, 4 discs on this. Pretty nice. Alright, now we got all the other non-Marvel stuff. Or, sorry, non-MCU stuff. This is all the Spider-Man. So you got Spider-Man from 2002, full-screen edition. Used to have the widescreen, it got stolen. 2-disc. Spider-Man bonus DVD. This is a deluxe edition. Cool thing you could find. I found this somewhere for like $1 at Goodwill out of town. I don't remember where it was, but it was pretty cheap. I had not seen the bonus material before, so I got it. Spider-Man 2, the 2-disc with 10 hours of bonus content edition. Yeah, that's pretty insane, honestly, that it has 10 hours. But I think I have watched at least one of the documentaries. Pretty cool to have this. I paid like $6 for this at some Goodwill. That definitely overcharged me. Yeah, that price is a little bit nuts. But I still go to that Goodwill every now and then because they do have great stuff. I even found a Gladiator extended cut set there. So, I like that Goodwill. Here's Spider-Man 2.1. The 8 minutes extra extended cut. It's like Days of Future Past for me. You know, it doesn't need to exist. It's only 8 minutes of footage. But whatever. It exists. They had it. Why not release it to the public? And apparently the binding is coming apart. I have never seen that before. I guess I need to put that in a new case as well. But no, like I was saying, I like the fact that both cuts are accessible to the general audience. And that you don't have to fan edit it together or look at a work print. You just get both versions. And you can choose which one you like more. Spider-Man 3 also has a alternate version. A Spider-Man 3.1, which I've actually never seen before. Because it's so freaking hard to get a hold of. You basically have to stream it, or you have to buy a specific box set. Yeah, I don't have it, but I do have the Spider-Man 3 bonus DVD. Pretty cool. Found this down the street for like $1. And the Spider-Man 3 I found at Rasputin's Music. Alright. Then we got a very cool edition of Spider-Man 3. This is a very minty condition copy of the film with 2 discs, plus that bonus DVD. Now, I didn't know this had that bonus DVD. I thought it was a completely different disc, but hey, it looks cool. You know, it looks very cool on the shelf, or it would if I could properly display it. I like it. Then you got the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man films. You got The Amazing Spider-Man 1, which is a great movie. A little too dark for my taste, you know, kind of a little bit depressing, but it exists. You know what isn't depressing, though? This movie. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's terrible. It's one of those movies where it's like, yeah, they completely ruined it, but it's also incredibly fun. You have Electro, you have Spider-Man swinging through the lightning electric power plant, you have Hobgoblin, or not Hobgoblin, the new Goblin. You got everything you want. You got action, romance, violence. You got basically everything. It's a fun movie. It's just got terrible writing. But I have the 2 awesome Spider-Man animated films here. I am excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. I have no idea when that's coming out, but I do have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. Now, I got this one at Half Price Books because my other copy I lost, but I'm actually okay with that. I did spend like $20 on it twice, I guess, but like, this one comes with a slipcover, and my other one didn't. And, you know, the other one comes with a slipcover, so I wanted them to match. But I'm very happy I got this. And then I'll show you the other one in a second, once I put the slip back on. But, Across the Spider-Verse, like I said, you know, it has a slipcover on it. I got it for my birthday. Very cool gift to get. I was very happy. I love this movie. I've seen it at least 3 times. And yes, I know they made a bunch of really random edits to it, but whatever. You know, if they want to edit the movie, they can, but, like, I don't know why. It was fine the way it was. And I'm trying to not damage it. Alright. Then you got the non-Spider-Man films. You've got the 2003 Ang Lee Hulk movie. Whatever. I picked this up at Rasputin's Music for around $3. I could care less. I could care more. It's fine. I've never seen it. I've got the 2005 extended cut of the Fantastic Four, which I was looking all over for. Gonna be honest, I don't even remember what differences there were. It was slightly longer, but I don't think any of the scenes mattered. I legitimately don't think they mattered. It wasn't like it was some big director's cut kind of thing. It just existed. And maybe I need to watch it again. Maybe I will in preparation for the new Fantastic Four movie with Marvel Studios, but we'll see. I do have a documentary of it, though, making a Fantastic Four, which is pretty cool. I'd love to get a hold of the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie, but I don't feel comfortable really ordering that one because it's technically piracy. But if I just happen to find it at like a thrift store, and I wasn't purposely buying it from someone who may or may not have duplicated it, I feel better about it. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. This is a cool movie. It is incredibly stupid. The whole dance number, I would be totally fine without that. Fan Four Stick. No, I actually don't hate this one. I actually think that it does have some things going for it. But why the heck is this movie so dark and depressing? What was Fox's idea? Like, were they trying to make this be like the next horror movie? I think it was Josh Trank's idea. No wonder they took it away from him. But, like, I don't know. That's not the Fantastic Four, I don't think. They're more lighthearted family fun. Instead, it was a depressing family drama. Anyways, Daredevil. The less said about this one, the better. I like Ben Affleck as an actor. I think he's fine in this, along with everyone else. And it totally has the trend of putting really random rock music to really random scenes. The scene with Elektra doing her martial arts training, and it just blasting whatever the heck the editor felt like putting in there. It's a scene that didn't need to be in there, but it is. Hello, early 2000s. And with that, actually, goodbye, because we are done with part 1. I know that was a terrible segue, but I've showed every Marvel film that is non-MCU, and all my non-MCU, Marvel, DC, whatever you want to call it stuff. And now we're going to get on to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I can't wait. I'll see you guys in a bit.